Nigel Farage, on this basis...
Are you going to let me speak, or are you just going to yell at me the whole time?
Wow.
I'm not sitting here to be spoken to like that, so maybe I'll just...
Me now.
No, I'm not having it. Layla, you think you're special? You're not, OK? Sorry, absolutely not be spoken to like that, Patrick.
This moment matters because it marks a clear breakdown in the discussion. When a debate shifts from arguments to control over who gets to speak, it usually signals that the issue itself remains unresolved. What follows is not just confrontation, but a deeper question about judgment and accountability.
Layla, why hasn't a single Labour cabinet minister resigned over this?
Because they're disgusting. Honestly, I'm so disgusted that Keir Starmer stands there and apologises to Epstein victims and says, you know, people in power let you down, yet he appointed someone as our ambassador who was best pals with that paedophile, and he knew full well. What kind of apology is that? You know, I'm really sorry that he did that to you, but I kind of overlooked it and appointed him anyway as ambassador. How can he still be our prime minister?
But I just don't understand. You know, at the next cabinet meeting, you know, it's not exactly business as usual, is it? It's like, oh, hey, boss, sorry, I don't quite agree with the fact that you appointed the friend of the world's most prolific paedophile to the role as US ambassador.
I think what's very important here, Keir Starmer is a coward, and I tell you why. He's trying to make this Mandelson's fault. Let's be very clear. He was given clear advice. Mandelson has an ongoing relationship with Jeffrey.
He knew about it.
The criticism here is not emotional. It's about responsibility. If a decision was made with prior knowledge, then an apology alone cannot separate leadership from accountability.
There is actually a clip, we'll come to it in a minute or two, I think, of Kemi Badenoch today offering Labour MPs the opportunity to go to the whips and do, as she would say anyway, the decent thing and get a vote of no confidence in the Prime Minister. But yeah, Matthew, look, Labour MPs are speaking out about it. Have we got the story? Yeah, we do. Go on, here she is. Here's Kemi.
It is now up to Labour MPs to do the right thing. I know there are many of them who are horrified by what has happened. We saw that in the House of Commons just yesterday. They might now expect the Prime Minister to take responsibility, but we know he won't. He will have to be dragged out of number 10. So, I am making them an offer. If they want the change they know the country needs, come and speak to my whips, and let's talk seriously about a vote of no confidence to force the moment.
At this point, attention shifts from individuals to institutions. The question is whether internal mechanisms will respond, or whether silence itself becomes the final outcome.
Right, Matthew, they don't have to do that. If one or two Labour cabinet ministers go, takes the pressure off everyone else. Why aren't they?
Well, I'm not sure what other cabinet ministers directly have to resign for. Clearly, the Prime Minister is responsible for his actions, and we will be seeing as soon as, you know, they're ready to be published, and as soon as the ones that the Met police have said that, you know, can be published, so that they don't jeopardise any potential criminal investigations, because there may well be, you know, criminal proceedings out of these events. Let me finish, please, Layla. That we may well be seeing, you know, the Prime Minister will be judged on those. I'm not going to take any lectures from Reform about appointing people. They appointed a leader in Wales today. Their last leader in Wales, who was appointed by Nigel Farage, is in jail for taking money from a foreign power.
Sorry, are you comparing a party that was polling at 3% to government?
No, I'm comparing the judgment of your leader.
Are you actually trying to justify it by saying?
Do you want to justify? Do you want to justify the fact that your former leader, who Nigel appointed, is in jail for taking money from a foreign power, Layla?
The whole point of being.
Oh, so you're ignoring that?
I do think this is worse.
Yeah,
well, he may go to jail, but he may go to jail. That's the point. So Nigel Farage, on this basis,
are you going to let me speak, or are you just going to yell at me the whole time?
Wow.
I'm not sitting here to be spoken to like that, so maybe I'll just...
me now.
No, I'm not having it. Layla, you think you're special? You're not, OK? Sorry, absolutely not be spoken to like that, Patrick.
Here, the discussion pivots. Rather than addressing the original appointment directly, comparisons are introduced. That change subtly lowers the standard being examined.
Maybe I should cut in at this point.
Can I just answer? So the difference is that when you are...
Oh, you're not going to let Sean speak either?
You asked me a question. When you are a covert Russian agent, the whole point is that you are covert. and no one knows. The difference is Mandelson, everyone knows.
Layla, this is about as convincing as the fact that on the 8th of January, you said that Robert Jenrick shouldn't be in your party. 7 days later, he's in your party, and you're still in the party. If you had any decency, you'd resign.
Hold on.
You would leave Reform.
Let's be very, let's be fair. The problem here for Starmer is the scale of this. We're talking about the ambassador to America. We're talking about someone who is sending very sensitive,
and he might go to jail, Sean, absolutely.
sensitive information to people who could definitely use that information. And I actually think if the real thing here is we need this to be looked at independently, which could be a problem for Starmer. Now, will he have to face the police? Who knows? But I tell you something now, if he tries to control it in the way he did when he cut off Andy Burnham, it will send the wrong message.
One of the things that, can we just say, let's just take the sting out of it a little bit, guys, because, you know, people listening on radio and they're currently deaf now. So, Layla, when it comes to the fact that, OK, we might be about to get this new tranche of information that comes out about exactly what Keir Starmer knew and when and all of that stuff, what we already know is that Keir Starmer knew that Mandelson had an ongoing friendship with the world's most notorious paedophile when he made him the US ambassador. And I think by a lot...
The focus now is risk, not politics. Senior appointments carry consequences that extend beyond public image, especially when sensitive information is involved.
of people's standards, that is a resigning matter. So why should Labour cabinet ministers now seriously not be considering their position as some kind of protest, as Starmer himself did in 2016 when he resigned from Corbyn's shadow cabinet?
I mean, yeah, as you said, the bar should have been, if you are friendly in any way with Epstein, you shouldn't be considered for that position. And Starmer's trying to blame it on vetting. It's not a vetting issue, it's a judgment issue. He made a bad judgment. And the question is, and I think I did read that he was also warned by MI6, and you wonder, what made him overrule that?
There's no evidence he's done that. That's a serious accusation, which there's no evidence.
What was the risk that was so worth it? Who does he answer to? The question is not the judgment, it's why he appointed him.
OK. Do you think that Starmer should or could survive this?
No.
Seriously? No. Well, I'm asking you.
Yeah. Sorry, I was just waiting. Lady's going to answer everybody's questions tonight, I see.
All right, come on.
OK, so will he survive this? I think at the moment it's difficult to tell because we need to see the documents. We need to see if he did overrule MI5 or MI6. There's no evidence of that at the moment. The Intelligence and Security Committee is going to look at that, and those documents are going to be put in the House of Commons domain. I mean, clearly there is pressure. Clearly there are questions to be answered. And clearly there may well be criminal charges against Peter Mandelson as well. So, I mean, the situation is developing. But at the moment, I think we need to wait and see these documents.
Sean, you have some first-hand experience of there being pressure within your party to resign over what quotes-unquote scandals, right? If this was the Tories now, what do you think Labour would be saying?
I just want to refer people to Rachel Reeves' behaviour when we were in government, when anything happened, Keir Starmer's behaviour, Angela Rayner's behaviour. Could you imagine what they would be calling for if the shoe was on the other foot? They would be doing backflips, calling for people's heads. And let's be clear, whatever papers come out subsequently is irrelevant. He was asked a direct question today. Did you know about Mandelson's ongoing relationship? Here's the thing, ongoing relationship with Jeffrey Epstein, and he replied yes. That's the end of it.
This moment defines the debate. If knowledge is acknowledged, justification must meet an exceptionally high standard. Otherwise, the question remains open.
Whoever told Starmer that he should appoint him is clearly crazy. That's enough. If anything else comes from this...
But also, obviously Starmer, you feel he answers to someone. You know, he looked up the chain and they told him appoint him, and you feel that he's not really in charge. He's answering to someone because he overlooked. I mean, it's the Prince of Darkness. He looked at us in the eye today and he said, I believed his assurances and his assurances were wrong, right? Who believes the assurances of the Prince of Darkness? You know, everyone knew he's had scandals before. He knew he was Epstein's friend and he gave him the best job in politics.
Final word to you on this, Matthew. I mean, the Guardian's obviously going off on this procession of Labour MPs that are presumably not cabinet ministers who are very unhappy. We saw Barry.
There's a lot of unhappiness for sure.
We saw Barry Gardner last night. You know, I mean, we know what his eyes were saying, don't we? About him going. Surely that has got to filter up to cabinet ministers. Surely.
Well, look, I mean, I think that what will happen is when these documents are published, when all the facts are out there, people will make their judgment. Clearly, there's a lot of unhappiness at the moment, and there's a lot of questions that remain to be answered. So, yeah, I mean, is it a very, very difficult time for the Prime Minister? Absolutely.
OK.
What this discussion ultimately highlights is not a single comment or exchange, but a sequence of decisions. Leadership is tested not only by outcomes, but by the standards applied when risks are already known. Whether future documents confirm or complicate what's been said here, the core issue remains unchanged. What level of judgment should be expected when public trust and national responsibility are at stake? That is where this debate now stands. And that is where scrutiny will continue to focus. What's your view on this? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you value calm, fact-based analysis, like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more.